guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with my must-read fantasy romances that are the top of my TBR. I have been in such a fantasy mood, and I feel like there are so many fantasy romances I want to read. There's so many books in general I want to read that I just like get anxious feeling I will never, ever be able to read them all. And I feel like my fantasy romance TBR especially has been growing and growing and growing, mostly because a lot of my favorite YouTubers, booktubers, read fantasy, and I don't get around as much as I want to, or it's because they're also very long, and so I never get to read as much as I want to because they're like 2 books worth in one of what I normally read. So needless to say, there's a ton that I want to read, and I feel like there's just always more that I'm adding to my TBR. I am here to talk about them. So not all these are on KU, but a majority of them are. I know the first one's not. I just did buy the ebook because it was on sale for $3, so I grabbed that because I also love reading on my Kindle, and so most of these are ones that are popular or that I've seen people talk about that I really want to read, or by favorite authors. So they are at the top of my TBR. My friend Tori from Live a Novel Life did do this video already, so I can link that down below for you. I don't remember when she did it. She did it a while ago, but I decided to do it too. So the first one I will apologize in advance for my ability to figure out the synopses of these fantasy romances, because I feel like a lot of times they're very vague and like say a lot but nothing at the same time, so we'll see how I do figuring out what these are about. But Heavenly Bodies by Amani Iru was the first one. I honestly also don't know what pretty much 90% of these are about, because I see them, I hear they're good, or I hear their tropes, and I'm like, add to TBR. But I have seen a lot of great things about this one. I know Tori read it and loved it. I know that Rachel from Raven Haired Reader has loved it, and I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of it, so I do own it. Prophecy says that she will fall for a star and it will kill them both, and one descends to wreak havoc on her kingdom. She has to flee into the arms of her enemy. I really love an enemy's romance. So she learns about her magic, which I also love when either they don't know they have magic or they're just trying to learn how to control it. Ooh, the enemy prince is forced to train her into a weapon. That sounds so good, and I believe that the cover for book 2 was recently released. It's green, super pretty, so this is like top of my TBR. I'm also going to see this author at a Polycon this next weekend, so I kind of want to try to fit this in before then, as in like next week, as in like maybe before this video even goes up, but we will see. If you did not know, my sister, I have a twin sister, we live together, and she loves reading as well, and she reads primarily only fantasy romance, and so she reads all the good books before me. So she's read Heavenly Bodies. She actually has this one currently out on KU, and I saw this, someone was talking about it, and I was like, why does this cover look so familiar? And I was like, because I have it out from KU right now, because that's the book my sister's reading, because I let her use my Kindle Unlimited, because that's where she mostly reads all of her books. She does not buy a lot of books. She has 2 bookcases in her room, and those are her books, and they are like all-time favorites of hers. So it is On Wings of Blood by Briar Bolin. First of all, this cover, stunning. I love the red. I love the dragon. Give me a dragon romance. I believe this is Dark Academia. So this says it's a mix of Harry Potter, Fourth Wing, Zodiac Academy, Arthurian legend, and lots of vampires. I love that. And it says it's a half-fae and a school of high-blood vampires. I actually really like academia paranormal fantasy romances. I feel like I read most of them as Why Choose romances, but this one I believe is MF. She is a dragon rider, or so they tell her. There's no dragons left, not a single one, but that has not stopped the vampires from deciding they want to take her. So now she's stuck at the academy where the high bloods run everything. So this is a very long synopsis. Okay, so here, this says it's a dark academia fantasy romance featuring a bully villain with Draco Malfoy energy who gets the girl. I love this. I love this synopsis at the end. All the tension and banter, tantalizingly dangerous blend of court and school intrigue. That's so good. That sounds so good. I'm very excited. Okay, the reviews are very mixed. So we will see, but it looks good. So I'm excited, and I will see how my sister feels, because she's a very harsh rater too, so much more than I am. Okay, the next one is Kiss of the Basilisk. I actually got to meet this author last month at a signing, and I have the new edition of it, and I did buy it when it was on sale as an ebook before it got republished. But this one, super pretty cover. I am worried though, because like, is one of the heroes a snake? But also, are there multiple heroes? Because the art for this one has a heroine with 2 heroes. I'm intrigued. So I have also heard that this is like completely unhinged. I have no idea what the plot is. So it says she's never been kissed, but that's what the Basilisk is for. So she has to train with the Basilisk to learn the power of seduction to win the prince's hand in marriage. Oh wait, so her bond with the Basilisk is deepening, but she also has a deepening bond with the prince? Oh my gosh, so that must be the two guys. It is like if fanfic Draco Malfoy went on The Bachelor and had to compete with a snake. So, oh my gosh, there's so many good ratings of this too. So I'm real, okay, but there's a couple 1 stars. Anyways, I feel like when it's popular, we get a lot of hit or miss ratings, but I'm excited. For sure want to read this, but can you let me know if it's actually MFM, MMF, or if it's just MF? I need to know. So my next one's actually the second book in a series, and that's Promise in Blood by Sadie Kincaid. I read the first one on Hoopla through audio. So good. This is a vampire and why choose romance. And so the heroine is attending this academy. I think it's like a college, and okay, let me actually pull up the first one because this is book 2, so I can't tell you anything about the plot. But she doesn't know that like magical beings exist, so she comes across this guy drinking this girl's blood, and she's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Like this is not okay. And realizes, oh, there's actually vampires. And so, oh yeah, the 3 vampires are put after like watching her, but they want her blood so badly. And I remember there's a scene about like her being on their period and they're all just like, it's like Christmas morning for us. So it's a little unhinged, and one of the vampires that I think is going to be part of the group is one of her professors, and they can talk in their minds, and it is so spicy, so fun. Very excited for book 2 for sure. So that's high on my TBR. Okay, so the next one is actually The Wolf King, and this one sounds amazing because I believe book 2 was in the top 100 on Kindle, and Tori and I just did a podcast episode where we talked about that top 100, and I was like, oh, that reminded me of this book. It has a 4.17 rating on Goodreads, which is so good. So she is kidnapped by an alpha, and war rages between the humans and the wolves, and there's a forbidden attraction that grows between her and the alpha. So she is a princess. She is in an arranged marriage. She wants to escape that and the castle, and so she is kidnapped and falls for the person who kidnaps her. I love it so much, so that sounds amazing. Very excited to read that one. I really need to read Helen Schwartz for sure. Blood and Steel is on my TBR, but I want to talk about her newest book, which is Iron and Embers. I love this cover so much. I have heard some mixed things of people whether they enjoy this or not, but I have high hopes. It has a 4.25 average on Goodreads, which is amazing. And it says that she is an alchemist turned assassin, and she is seeking vengeance for the death of her friends. Oh, interesting. So she's offered a place at an ancient alchemy academy, and she has to win her spot. So she has to conquer the gauntlet, which is a series of deadly trials. I feel like I haven't read a trials romantasy in a while, so that is very intriguing to me. This does say it's perfect for fans of Fourth Wing, for Blood and Ash, and the Bridge Kingdom. I love all 3 of those, so very excited for that. The first, oh wait, I actually don't know if this is why I choose. I was gonna say this is why I choose, but it's Jame and Eve. It's A Curse of Fate. Very excited. I think this is one of her newer ones. Oh no, it came out in October, but this has a 4.29 average, which is insane. So she is a shifter who can never bond with a pack, not if she wants to live. So her mom's pack destroyed her, and they share the same designation, which means we'll share the same fate. So she hides from the cities and the alphas who control them, and then she's dragged to Golden Claw against her will. One of the strongest alphas in the cities scents her and claims her, and he's part of the most powerful pack of alphas in the city. Oh, it is why I choose. Okay, I am so excited. I didn't know, but I love Jame and Eve so much, so for sure going to be reading this. I don't know why, but I also really want to read shifter romances at the moment, so high on my TBR as well. Okay, so the next one has been on my TBR since January. I think I've put it on almost every TBR, and I've never gotten around to it because it's so gosh darn long, but it is City of Gods and Monsters. I have heard this compared to Crescent City specifically. I think it's more urban fantasy, and there's wolves, and I'm very excited. Crescent City is one of my absolute favorite series of all time, so that's why I want to read this one. So this says she's only ever been ordinary. She's a human living in a city with vampires, werewolves, witches, and supernatural creatures. And then she barely escapes an abduction, and one of her friends is taken in her place, and they say, hey, we'll give your friend back if you come instead. So she needs to have the help of the leader of the 7 Devils, which I believe is a wolf pack, and he specializes in tracking down demons and criminals, and he takes a job, to track down her friend, and it goes from there. So this says it's perfect for fans of Sarah J. Maas, Alona Andrews, and Cassandra Clare, and I feel like it's a darker one, but I am very, very excited. Again, it has super mixed reviews, but I feel like it'll be at my wheelhouse. I feel like I'll like that one. Another author that's been on my radar is Ivy Asher. I started one of her books and I didn't super love it, but I feel like I will like her newer stuff. Spark the Flames recently came out, and I actually think that this one's MF, even though she usually writes Why Choose, but this one's a dragon romance, and you say dragons and I immediately want to read it. So her family was slaughtered right before her eyes by dragons. So she's hiding from the horde ever since and existing under the radar and surviving. And one day he finds her, the king's second son, and her new captor. And he forces her back to the city. He thinks he can use her and claim her powers. And oh, this says the dragons should have been more careful about who they let inside their city. So I feel like she's just gonna wreak havoc. And it sounds so good. The reviews are so good too. So I feel like I'm gonna love this. Okay, it might not be like a romance with a dragon, but there's dragons in here. And she falls for the guy who takes her, which is the king's second son. So good. Oh, the next one I really want to read is The Rivaled Crown by Holly Renee. I'm a little concerned, but this one is like 500 pages and the first two are less than 300. So I feel like this will probably be better than book 2. I really loved book 1. She was running from the castle and ended up with the rebels because she had said she was a rebel in order to, I forget, it was like her escaping, and she like forced the tattoo on herself and they thought she was a rebel and she's not, but now she's hiding out with the rebels. And the end of book 1, I was deceased. I was like, this is like the best romance I've ever read, and I loved it. But book 2 really lacked like any plot and any romance development and any like surprise, because it just led us to where we knew what the ending was going to go and nothing was exciting. So I was really disappointed in book 2, but I'm excited for book 3. I honestly haven't seen too many people talk about it, but I have high hopes for this story and this romance, and hopefully because it's longer, we'll have more plot and more things happening and more surprises, but we will see. Another book that I've seen everywhere, and I just like think the colors of the cover is really pretty, and that's Riftborn. I believe book 2 either just came out or is coming out soon. I honestly don't know what this is about. I don't think I've ever looked at the synopsis, but this says he was striking in a cold-blooded way and his beauty was tinged with poison, and she is Fia Riftborn. And 20 years after the rebellion, she has a secret, she has a hidden power. This person is building a unit of powerful wielders within the guard to face a threat. This is the one where it says like a lot, but not all a lot. So I don't know. She has his secret powers, she has to become a weapon for them, and things go from there. I, like I said, have seen a lot of people reading this and talking about it, and I'm definitely very intrigued, but I don't really know anything else about what it's about. Then another YT's romance, which I'm hopefully also going to read this week because I will be seeing this author at a Polycon as well, is A Game of Valiles by Eva Chase. This one I believe is another trials romance where they have to compete for a husband. She's the second-born princess of a kingdom conquered by an empire, and she did not expect her parents to arrange her marriage to the most powerful bachelor of the son of the emperor. And she arrives to discover she has to compete for her betrothed. And this is why I choose though. So she has to risk her life to win her husband. And the emperor's royal wards, who are princes of other conquered domains, lurk in the shadows. They see her as a traitor, but I believe it's her romance with them. So I'm so excited, I think, because this says it's a new fantasy romance series with a sizzling enemies to lovers romance, smoldering morally gray men. So I'm assuming it's Why Choose, and I love Why Choose. So we are going to read that hopefully soon. It's just long. It's over 500 pages, but I'm going to see what I can do. Then I do have Starlight Mates, which I believe I just added to my TBR for Kindle Unlimited, but this is by G. Bailey, and I think this is also Why Choose? Yeah, so it's Who Did This to You? Touch Her and Die, Rejected Mates, Forced Proximity, and Why Choose, which I'm always in the mood for. So she rejected them and ran. Her parents have always hated Nexus shifters, and she was taught everyone should be scared of her because she is a monster. So she is a Nexus. She's a powerful shifter, bonded to 5 other souls, and she only rejected them all at the mating ceremony and ran away when she was 15, and after 5 years on the run, she's been found. Her mates have dragged her back to the community in Scotland, and it's their romance. So I am a little nervous that there's 5 of them. I don't do a good job of like keeping track of big Why Choose romances, but I mean, I've read them with 5 before, so as long as they're definitely like unique enough, this sounds so good though. Rejected Mates. I do not read enough Rejected Mates, so I'm very excited. Okay, so then I have one more, which is another Why Choose. I'm so sorry if you don't like those, but I love them. So we have Feral Omega, which is a Why Choose romance that I've seen everywhere. I love this cover, like the colors, stunning. And this one says that she has been every alpha who has tried to tame her. Okay, so before they can either put her down or send her to a breeding facility, a masked special ops team that deals in death and destruction comes and takes her. One of them is a wolfish serial killer. One of them is a combat medic. One of them is a himbo, one of them doesn't speak, and one of them is their stone cold leader. I think this is a shifter. A dark Omegaverse set in a war-torn dystopian society. I love dystopian romances too, so this one, again, sounds right up my alley, and I'm obsessed with this. So I feel like I'll love it. And I really want to read darker fantasy romances too, because I love dark romance. So those are all the ones that I am like itching to read. I hope I read all of them by the end of this year because they all sound amazing. 2 of them I'm hopefully reading within the next week and a half. So we will see if I do a good job of sticking to this TBR, but those are the romances at the very, very top of my TBR that are fantasy romances. Let me know if you've read any of these and what you think I'll love and what is at the top of your fantasy romance TBR. I would love to hear. If you have made it this far and want to let me know you watched, leave me a wolf emoji because I have been really wanting some wolf shifters lately. So leave me a wolf emoji and that is all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.